Hello, welcome to my online tutorial for NEBOSH International General Certificate. It is your Safe Time Online TV where we are recording some tutorial related to health and safety, and our current tutorial videos is related to NEBOSH International General Certificate, and we are still in Element 1. And our today's learning outcome, we are going to look at planning and coordination of work. All this is under who does what in an organization. Therefore, we are still looking at the managerial part of the organization. We are still looking at the level of management hierarchy, and therefore this is almost the last part of the learning outcome, who does what in an organization. So we have two subtopics that we're going to look at today, and one is planning and coordination of work. Planning and coordination of work. So we're going to see how is the employer or the client going to plan how the work will be conducted, how the work which will be conducted by the contractor will be well planned, and coordination between the two organizations. Now, the second subtopic that we're going to look at our last part of our learning outcome, who does what in an organization, we're going to look at monitoring and managing the work. How the client or how the organization, how the employer who has engaged the contractor will be managing and monitoring, or rather supervising, the type of work that will be conducted by the contractors. So before we move on, I just want to welcome once again. My name is Abubakar, and through this channel, it is your free learning platform where NEBOSH International General Certificate and other health and safety courses will be recorded and being published in my YouTube channel. Therefore, feel free to access any resource that is available there. For those people who are those people who are doing this course already, you have this information free of charge. No one is paying me, no one is sponsoring me, but exactly what I am teaching here is what exactly you will learn in any institute that you are going to join. Therefore, take it as an opportunity, because I am covering the whole course, the complete course in NEBOSH International General Certificate. Therefore, make sure that you pay attention to this course, because this course has covered almost everything. In fact, it has covered even an extra, or this tutorial that I am always recording is covering each and every part in the International General Certificate, as well as other health and safety courses. Therefore, this is a good and enough resource material for you to study for your NEBOSH International General Certificate. You can watch all the videos and you get whereabout of how the course is all about. And as usual, at each and every end of learning outcome, there is some study questions that we're going to look at, and we're going to discuss them here in these tutorials. So make sure that you pay attention as we move on with our syllabus, so that you'll keep on benefiting, because that is the aim and objective that I plan to ensure everyone is enlightened and get this knowledge and make sure they work safe in their working environment. So as we move on, I would like us to, as a teacher or as a tutorial, it is mandated, or it is recommended to always review our previous learning outcome or our previous lesson. Therefore, I would like us to look at the previous lesson that we already did in our previous learning outcome, so that whoever is following this will be able to know, or will be able to get the connection of how this learning outcome are interconnected and they support each other. Now, our previous learning outcome, we looked at the factors to be considered when selecting contractors. Remember, this is a question that is coming in the NEBOSH International General Certificate Element 1 open book exam. So when I repeat anything in this learning tutorial, make sure you pay attention, because this, whatever I am doing, is exactly coming in the examination. So what is required is your understanding and how we are going to implement the knowledge and the skills that you've gathered or you have gained from this tutorial, in how you're going to implement them or you apply them in your examination. For those people who need just general knowledge of health and safety, then you have all that you need in this YouTube channel. So the factors to be considered when selecting contractors. There are some factors that the employer or the client has to see or has to consider to ensure that he's selecting the right contractor. And these factors are as follows. Number one is competency. I think last time we defined what competency is. Last time we defined what is competency, and we said competency simply mean someone is well versed with the knowledge and skills as well as experience in health and safety measures and principles. So whoever is having these qualities is having the knowledge of health and safety, is having the required skills, and is well experienced. He has been working in health and safety environmental and practicing all the measures. Then this is the right person to be selected to conduct a work. So it is the responsibility of the employer to highlight some number of qualities, and we're going to see the types of measures or the types of a process that will be involved in selecting these types of contractors. We said that for a contractor to select, for an employer to select a contractor, he should ask to see the following information. And the first information, we've already said it here: competency. The competency, that is the selection of a health and safety contractor, will always be based on how experienced the experienced, knowledgeable, and skilled the contractor is. And that is what we've already said. Number two, accident history. I'm just repeating whatever we already learned. So accident history. The employer must ask records of the accident history that the contractor has been involved. So it is important to know how the contractor has been working towards accident. So if the contractor has been involved in several accidents in the previous clients that he was performing his work activities, that clearly shows that he is not well competent for him to be given a contract to perform work in your organization. So the accident history is very much important, and that means each and every contractor should record all the accidents that are occurring or are happening in their work activity, so that he can or they can present these documents to the upcoming or the coming client that they are going to conduct their work activity. Number three, he should provide a copy of the health and safety policy. Still, the contractor is an employer, and it can be an organization. Let's say a work activities contract where it involves workers are going or climbing a high-rise building, either cleaning glasses. There are some companies which are doing that, cleaning glasses or cleaning the building outside of the building. Some other people, some other contractors, they are fixing some lights. Some are fixing some given devices such as internet intercoms. So this company which is offering services which is related to high-rise rope work, which involve workers to go in a tall building or a tall building, this type of company should record any accident that is involved in their work activity, so that the clients who needs to engage this contractor will have good information that this type of contractor is well experienced, has undergone several types of work activity, and has not been involved in many accidents. So by so doing, the client will easily be able to engage this type of contractor. Number four, he should provide his qualification and training records to the client. The qualification, that means certification to show that this person has, or this staffs or these workers went through a training towards the work that they are going to conduct in your organization. Number five, membership of a professional organization or certified body. They should also provide information of the membership of any professional body that they have coordinated, so that in case of anything, we all know that this type of contractor has enough resources or have enough resource to gather information related to his type of work. Number six, they should provide risk assessment for the work that they are going to conduct in the workplace, and they should also provide method statement. So risk assessment is a document which covers or which includes the type of work that is going to be conducted in the workplace. It also includes all the risks and hazards which are present within the work activity or within the workplace that it is going to be taking place. Also, it includes the measures and ways of how the risk or those risks will be eliminated or controlled to the acceptable level, so that while the work is taking place, the workers or the employees will not be at a high risk. So by so doing, this is one of the important documents that it should be presented to the employer or to the client for the contractor to be given work to do. Another document we've mentioned is the method statement, and this one will include all the methods which will be used during the work activity, or the method which will be used to ensure the health and safety measures will be in place and that all the workers will be working safely in that workplace. Next, records of maintenance and test for plants and equipment. Also, the contractor should show records of how they are doing their maintenance to different equipments. Now, let's say, for example, we have our building and we need to install or we need to fix an elevator. That means a lift. So we need a contractor which is well competent that will provide us with the records of maintenance of these equipment, that if they install and the equipment has got some errors or some problems, they immediately going to be conducted to come and do maintenance to this type of equipment that they have installed in our building. So they should provide us the records of how they are conducting their maintenance to their equipments that they have installed to our building. Also, should show the records of the previous client that they have already worked with. Let's say they have worked with different construction companies, And this is an example. I have engaged with this company ABCD, and this is how we've been conducting our work, and therefore we are very much competent to do the work in your workplace. So that is one of the documents required. Next, records of enforcement action that is taken against them. Also, sometimes they are committing some severe work activities. Let's say the involvement of an accident, and after the accident, the local authority take action against this type of a contractor. So this action that has been taken by the given state or given authority, which is governing the health and safety, should be, this document or this information should be made clear to the coming or to the new client that you want to engage with this contractor, so that the client can decide whether to move on to engage with this contractor or not. And lastly, proof of adequate resources. This is one of the requirements that is required. They should provide an adequate resources, that if we need more information in our company as a contractor, we have so and so who is well versed with providing us with enough resources or enough advices on how the work should be well conducted. So this is what we already did in our previous lesson. And today, let us look at the planning and coordination of the work, of how the work will be conducted in the organization. We said that when the client engage with the contractor, the client will need to plan on how the work will be conducted, and also there should be coordination of how the work will be conducted between the client and the contractor. So information must be exchanged between the client and the contractor. So the client should tell the contractor about the hazard and risks of the workplace, and the contractor should tell the client about the risks and hazard which will be created during the work. Here there should be a two-way means of communication. So the client should be provide information of the risks and hazard which are present in the workplace. Also, the client or the contractor should also provide information of the risks and hazard which will be created during the work activity which will be taking place. So if a certain machine will be used and this machine is hazardous or creates some certain risks, let's say there is some harmful chemical will be released, or harmful gases, or harmful gases which will be hazardous or a risk to the surrounding community or environment. This information should be made clear to the client by the contractor. So clear information between the two people who engage together, the client and the contractor, should be made clearly. So in this way, the work can be planned so that everyone is kept safe during the work activity. Next, the contractor should carry out risk assessment. That is, the contractor should carry risk assessment on the work involved and develop safe working method, what we call method statement. So safe working method to control the risk identified. So after doing the risk assessment, the contractor will identify some type of risks which are inherent in the workplace, and therefore there should be measures or control measures which will be developed in order to control and to control the risks which are present. So this safe working method must be documented and is often referred to as method statement. We've already said. So the client should examine this risk assessment and method statement to ensure that there are no obvious problems or errors. Also, this should happen before work has commenced. All this information should be taking place before the work has already started. So it is a good practice for the client to demand that risk assessment and method statement are submitted well before the work has commenced, meaning before the work has started, so that problems and conflict flagged up by the review process can be resolved without creating delays to the start of the work. Next, the client and contractor must coordinate their work carefully so as not to conflict. So this is another point. The client and the contractor should coordinate their work carefully to avoid conflict on how the work is done. There may be several contractors working on the site at any time or another, or at any time, and the activities of one person, organization must not cause a hazard for another work activity conducted by another contractor. So if one contractor is working at a height, it should be sensible to avoid other working beneath in that building or in that area. So coordination is very much important. I can give an example of work activities which is involving different contractors. Let's say in a high-rise building, there might be, number one, a lift company, that is elevator company. Number two, fire alarm system company, that is another example. Number three, firefighting company that involve in firefighting response. There's other companies such as air conditioning company, maintenance company. All these types of companies, they are contractors which have been engaged by the client. So they are all working together, and therefore there should be a coordination for this type of work to be conducted. And this coordination will involve, if there is any work activity that is taking place above by one of the contractors, that means there should be no any other work activity conducting below that work activity to avoid any unnecessary accident. So next, we are going to look at monitoring and managing the work. And here, the employer or the client will be able to monitor and manage how the work will be conducted by the contractors. So the client arrangement must be made by client to ensure the contractor complies with the safe working practices. This arrangement should include number one. These arrangements should include number one, having a signing in and out procedures. There should be a procedure on how the contractors, workers, and staffs should be signing in and out to be able to know how many people are in the building, how many workers are working, and how many workers are out of the building. Number two, ensuring that the contractor provide a named work supervisor. The contractor should provide his own supervisor to the work activity that is conducted within the client premise. Number three, carrying out the CERT induction training for all contractor workers. Now, this is the responsibility of the employer or the client to provide enough information to the contractors, and that is through induction training. And this is the client personnel to provide induction. That means provide information about the whole working environment of the whole organization, so that each and every contractor will be able to know and get familiar with the work environment. Number four, controlling high risk activity with a permit to work system. This one we already mentioned in one of our episodes, and we said a permit to work system is a formal document which control a type of work to be conducted in an organization, and it also have information about the types of risk and hazard present in that particular type of work, and all the control measures that will be taken before, during, and even after the work has already been conducted. The competence of the workers, that is the contractor that will be doing the work, all this information will be included in the permit to work document. So the client will need to monitor the contractor's work to ensure that they are working to agreed health and safety standards. So all the contractors should adhere to the health and safety measures in that workplace. And that should be the coordination between the client and the contractors. So here I'm going to define again what is a permit to work. So a permit to work is a formal document. It is a formal documented safety procedure forming part of a safe system of work, which ensures that all necessary actions are taken before, during, and after particularly high-risk work activity. So the permit to work document, it is a document which ensures that all the health and safety measures, control measures, are taken before, during, and after the work has been conducted.